Kitco Mining's special coverage of the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference is brought to you by First Mining Gold.
Money's the lifeblood of the resource sector, but how is it doing with the Fed tightening? I'm with Kai Hoffmann. He is the CEO of Soar Financial, and he also is the head of Ornick, which tracks financing in the resource space. Kai, glad to have you back.
Michael, thanks for seeing me in person. It's awesome. Doing this in person again. It's been a while.
Tell us about these markets right now.
What's there to tell? Sentiment is obviously not good. Volumes have disappeared. People are just selling, trying to raise cash. But the gold price is hanging in there. I've had a couple conversations over the last few days, and we're fairly positive on the gold price. We're trading at 1810. It's not great. It's not 2,000 anymore. We lost about almost $300 over the last month, pretty much. But we're still holding above certain technical levels as well, and it's not dumping. It's just the sentiment that has disappeared, and mostly in the stocks, while gold is still doing okay. And trying to rectify that, obviously, we're looking for a good trigger.
Well, let's look at the companies right now as well. It's been interesting. Obviously, a GDXJ down, the grassroots have been just killed, but then also you look at the majors, for instance, they've been doing well, I would kind of say, relative to things. Also, you're looking at the royalty and streaming space not doing badly too in this environment.
Absolutely, because they're still benefiting from fairly high gold prices. If you look at it, we came from $1,200, we're now at $1,800. They're printing money, more or less, right? Especially the big companies that have their all-in sustaining costs somewhat under control. I think Newmont is producing at $1,150. The streaming companies are buying their gold way cheaper, or have bought their gold way cheaper and now selling it for $1,800 gold. So that's definitely the stocks you want to own right now. As you said, grassroots is suffering. They're not raising any money right now, and they're struggling bad, and that's what we see in the numbers as well. Only 25% of financings right now are below $1 million, or even I think it's 35% are below $2 million. And that's a massive discrepancy, because that money usually flows into grassroots, early stage soil sampling or just mapping and things like that, and we don't see that right now.
The window is closed as far as financings go. So if you're looking at a junior, if you're going to take a flyer on one of these pies, you really want to look at their cash.
Absolutely, and I was on a panel this morning here as well, and I picked stocks that were just fully cashed up. They were lucky to actually have finance before everything went down. And those are the ones you want to look at, of course. You don't want to have to finance right now, massive dilution coming with it. Or actually, as you said, the financing window is shut to a degree, unless you do a bought deal that you actually bring to the table of the banks, meaning more of a brought deal, you'll have a hard time raising money.
Interesting discussion that we had just off camera. You also say as well, too, that the exploration plays have been quite safe as far as what they've been doing in terms of their drilling results have been. We're just not seeing new discoveries right now.
Absolutely. And top of mind, we do way too much infill drilling, not enough discovery drilling. And that's a bit shocking, because we've raised so much money last year, $6.8 billion. We were off to a great start earlier this year, but we don't have much to show for it. It doesn't feel like we've created any new discoveries, as you said. There's only one company that really comes to mind, Kitco Mining, that sort of showcases a discovery, or actually generational discovery. All the others, lots of infill results, some decent ones, don't get me wrong, but nothing that's game-changing at this point.
Yourself, talking to funds, talking to money people as well too, what are they doing right now? Are they saying that, this is a sale? Do you view it as a sale? Or they say right now, I just got to sit on my hands right now because I don't know how this shakes out?
It's a dual-edged sword, because you have to look at how committed those funds are to the sector. Are they pure resource funds, or are they just, okay, we got to allocate 5% of our capital into mining stocks? Because those are the guys that left, that have sold, they're sitting on cash now. They might come back, they just need a trigger, but they're on the sidelines for now. But the purely committed ones, I think they're buying and they're understanding what is happening right now. So that's why I think gold is holding in, and some of the juniors are being soaked up as well. We've seen some rebounds last week in a couple stocks that were up 50% in a week. That was probably the worst I've seen in a long, long time. So there are buyers out there, and the dedicated resource funds, they understand the game. And they're actually the ones probably should be buying, and are buying, because I just had a conversation with one just half an hour ago, pretty much. He said, well, we are buying in this market.
You were one of the panelists that helped us out with the selection of Mining CEO of the Year for 2021. Thank you very much. We appreciate your efforts on that. Is there any company, is there any part of the resource sector that kind of sticks out right now in terms of 2022, in terms of performing well?
Well, performing well. I keep coming back to Filo. I mentioned it earlier. I have to come back to it. It's definitely like a game-changing discovery down there in Argentina. Jamie Beck has been doing a fantastic team. It's a Lundin-backed company. I want to see more discoveries. I'd love to mention other names, but as I said earlier, it's like it doesn't feel like we've made any new discoveries outside of Filo. Mm-hmm. And I'm probably giving some discredit to some companies that are working really, really hard. And don't get me wrong, they're putting in the effort. But nothing like Filo has popped up this year so far, which is not easy. Exploration is not an easy game. Like otherwise, everybody would do it. But I want to see one or two more. That'd be great.
Tell us about Deutsche Goldmesse. That's going to be coming up very shortly.
Yeah, we're hosting a conference in Frankfurt next week, actually. Next week, Friday, Saturday. Got a full lineup of companies, 24 companies presenting, 6 fantastic keynote speakers. Matthew Piepenburg, Mark Friedrich. He's really like more of an anti-cyclical investor in gold as well. So really looking forward to having him as a keynote. You'll be out. You'll be joining us. Kitco is a partner, which I'd love the support of. Yeah. And it's going to be good. Like we're seeing, of course, market sentiment reflected as well, but the quality's there. And we've vetted all the 24 companies ourselves. We've been pitched by them. We've listened to the stories. So we tried to put a filter on before just putting this together.
Kai, thanks for speaking with Kitco.
Michael, thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
He's Kai Hoffmann. He is the CEO of Soar Financial. My name is Michael McRae, and you're watching Kitco Mining.
Kitco Mining's special coverage of the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference is brought to you by First Mining Gold.